Hello friend, welcome back to my channel. Today I show how to share a Kubernetes cluster with a namespace. The requirement for this demo are doc and the kind up and running on your computer. If you don't have this, please check the links below. All the steps will be included in my blog post in the description. So let's go to the board. Okay, in the board, you have a Kubernetes cluster and you have in this Kubernetes cluster node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. And you have two namespaces. You go to have namespace dev and namespace prod in the same cluster. So you don't need to create a Kubernetes cluster for every application you go to work. You can create a namespace and share the network, the CPU, the memory with the apps you have inside. So don't create a cluster, Kubernetes cluster, just for create a new app. You can share and you can control the codes for utilizations for CPU and memory with the codes. And you can throw the networks with network policy that can control the traffic inside the cluster. Okay, let's create a real example for the real world with Kubernetes. Think the Kubernetes cluster is a state. So in this state, we have little cities inside. We have city 1, city 2, city 3, city 4. And the city, they share the state. They are in the same state. They share the streets. They share the electrical. They share all the resource inside the state. They share in the same place, and they living together. So when you think about the namespace, you can think about a state, like be a Kubernetes cluster, and the namespace is the little city, and this little cities inside this state, and they share resources inside. So let's go to the terminal and work in this demo. In the terminal, let's clone my GitHub repository with all the files you need. So git clone, you clone the repository. Now you go inside the repository, go to folder 19, so and code. Cool. Inside the VS Code, you will go to have the folder 19, to have the file make with all the commands you need, and the kind with the kind configuration to create the cluster. So go to terminal. Okay, in the terminal, let's make number 1, create a cluster. Enter. So they'll go to create a cluster with a kind. So when it's done, I will back. Okay, the cluster is created with a kind. So step 2, make 2 list namespace. Let's see the namespace you have. You have all the default namespace for Kubernetes. So number 3, make 3. So let's create our first namespace, the dev namespace. So you create the dev namespace, make number 4. Let's create the namespace for prod. Done. Make number 5. Let's create a pod for dev namespace. Done. Name number 6. Make 6. Create a pod and prod namespace. So make 7. Let's list the pods in the dev namespace. Number 8, let's do the same thing. Make 8. Let's list the pods and namespace for prod. So it's up and running. And number 9, make 9. Now you can delete the cluster. But you can see we have independent pods in different namespaces. So we have a namespace dev, and you have the namespace prod. We have one pod in namespace dev, That can be an application you use for that environment. And you can have production in the same cluster just for tests, but it's not can be like in real prod. But you can use that for you if you just have a cluster. Like in my lab, I just have one cluster. In this cluster, I have the different namespaces for my dev and prod applications. So that's it, how to share a Kubernetes cluster with namespace. If you like this video, please subscribe, like it, and I see you in the next one.